Hey folks, it's Greg with Strange RV Tours, and today I'm standing on Sahara Boulevard in Las Vegas, Nevada in front of Tower of Jewels, a jewelry store. But back in the day, in the 60s, 70s, and early 80s, this building behind me was known as Bertha's Home Furnishing and Gifts. This place was robbed by the Hole in the Wall gang. That robbery brought the gang down. I'll give you all the details. In 1971, the Chicago outfit sent Anthony Spilotro to Las Vegas to manage the skim at the Stardust Hotel and Casino. At the time, Frank Rosenthal, Lefty Rosenthal, was running the Stardust along with maybe three other casinos here in town. But the movie Casino was based primarily on the Stardust. Anthony Spilotro was brought in to run the skim, which was where they would basically skim money off the top of the profits before reporting it to IRS. They'd take the money back to Chicago in suitcases and give to the bosses. While Anthony Spilotro was in Las Vegas, he formed a gang of thieves, killers, robbers, and burglary experts known as the Hole in the Wall gang. Anthony Spilotro owned a jewelry store here in Las Vegas on Sahara, further down Sahara, called the Gold Rush. And a lot of the jewelry and stolen items that the Hole in the Wall gang would acquire would be taken to Anthony Spilotro's Gold Rush and either melted down and resold as scrap gold or sold as pieces of jewelry. They were called the Hole in the Wall gang because they had a penchant for pulling up next to buildings like this one here in a van at night, sliding the door open and using commercial drills, sledgehammers, anything that they could get their hands on to knock a hole in the wall to gain access into the building to rob it. On this particular occasion in 1981, in this building right here, they were going to rob Bertha's. This time was going to be a little bit different though, because this time the FBI had an informant, undercover informant, that was inside the gang itself. And this time, doing things a little bit different. Instead of breaking into a wall, they actually made their way up onto the roof of this building and started using jackhammers and sledgehammers to break through the roof of the building to gain access. Now, I'm not sure if they were on this side of the building or the other side. I've been told it was the other side, which I'll walk back over there in a minute. But in this area, if you look back down here, this is a long parking lot. The FBI had men placed in the parking lot down here in cars. They had people placed across the street at this shopping center over here, which is known as the Commercial Center. There was FBI officers there. There was FBI officers on the streets. They had this place covered. The FBI did not step in until the gang had actually broken in through the ceiling and had entered the building. When they descended upon the Hole in the Wall gang, they caught all of the members that were there that night. Frank Coletta was one of the leaders of the Hole in the Wall gang at that time, and Frank Coletta ended up going to prison. While he was in prison, the FBI approached him with a recording of Anthony Spilotro saying that we need to do something to clean all of our dirty laundry. Well, Frank Coletta took that to mean that they were going to put a hit on him. So rather than let them kill him, he decided to act first and turn state evidence against Anthony Spilotro All of the members of the Hole in the Wall gang were charged with burglary, conspiracy to commit burglary, attempted grand larceny, and possession of burglary tools. It was around this time also that Anthony Spilotro started having an affair with Frank Rosenthal's wife, Jerry McGee. This kind of stuff doesn't sit too well with the mafia figures. Mafia bosses don't approve of having affairs with other members' wives. So the mafia, the mob outfit, Chicago outfit, they got tired of Anthony Spilotro's antics and decided it was time to take him out. So they called Anthony Spilotro to come back to Chicago, basically by saying that supposedly they told Anthony they wanted him to come back there because his brother Mike was going to be they were going to do a ceremony to make him become a made man, a mafia member. So Anthony went back to Chicago, picked up his brother. They ended up going to supposedly a home, so one of the mafia bosses' homes, and were brought down into the basement. And Michael went first down the basement, and he was attacked. And while they were killing Michael, Anthony Spilotro was brought down, and he was screaming, "You can't do this, what are you doing?" They used blunt objects to beat Michael and Anthony Spilotro to death. The last thing Anthony Spilotro supposedly said was, "I need to pray." They then had their bodies taken. They then had their bodies taken to a farm and was buried on the edge of the farm where it was found where their bodies were found basically naked other than underwear a few days later. Their bodies were discovered on June 22nd, 1986. So this robbery at Bertha's Home Furnishings basically led to the death of Anthony Spilotro and the end of his reign here in Las Vegas. You can basically see how the story played out in the movie Casino, starring Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro, along with Sharon Stone and James Woods. But this was the site of the famous Bertha's Home Furnishings and gift shop bungled robbery. Give you a little more view of it here. And I went in this jewelry store earlier, and it is gorgeous inside. It is a beautiful place. So this is where real gangland Las Vegas mafia stuff happened, people. Now I had an employee in here tell me that they broke in on this side of the building here. So I'm assuming that the hole would have been up in this area, because when I went inside it did look like the office was in this area. So the vault may be in that front corner of the building there. I don't know. That looked like it to me, but it's so strange, you know, you see something in a movie, or you read something in a novel about a robbery like this, and you think that it's going to be a dark, desolate place, and you know, it's going to be a scary place. And no, this is a nice part of town. I mean, it's, you know, it's downtown Las Vegas, but it's not in a bad part of town. So, but this is real history right here, folks. 896 Sahara Boulevard. But as you can see, if you look around here, there's another big parking lot right over here on the other side of this fence where they could have had FBI agents posted There's another building right behind it with a staircase. There's all kinds of places here that the FBI could have been watching from, and they were. Probably partially due to that robbery that night. If you look up here on the building, there's 2 security cameras here. There's one missing there, but there's 2 of them in that corner. There's 1 in that corner. This place is heavily fortified with surveillance cameras now. There's another one back there in the corner of the building. In the movie Casino, Anthony Spilotro, his character in the movie was called Nicky Santoro, and Frank Rosenthal was Ace Rothstein. Okay, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, the subscribe button, hit the little bell for notifications, and please share these videos. Thank you for watching, and thanks to all of our supporters and subscribers. We really do appreciate you being there for us and watching our videos. And until we see you again next time, have a nice day. Bye-bye.